The Star of Peace update quietly turned the DSS into a scaling nightmare, and most people haven't even realized it yet. The previous DSS test fires resulted in a complete shattering and pulverization of a small moon, and I even hypothesized that it might be able to destroy planets, if it was not a test fire and a full-on attack. When I heard about the Star of Peace update, I did not expect the buff to be as crazy as it is. What I didn't expect was this massive change in power that we witnessed mere days ago that has indubitably sent shockwaves of unpredictable proportions to every sector of the galaxy. An event that has definitely set in stone Super Earth as a clear powerhouse unchallenged within the entire galaxy. I believe people still fail to grasp just how much of a jump in power Star of Peace is. The DSS turned not a small moon, not a small planet, but a fully fledged planet into a black hole. A normal stable black hole, the size of that planet. Read enough Helldivers 2 itself. Operation Free Space has been successfully completed. In a triumph of managed democracy, the Star of Peace is fired upon Penta, collapsing the planet into a black hole, destroying all enemy forces present. The firing of this defensive weapon was a monumental success, however the DSS sustained damage during the firing process and must be taken offline for repairs for a short period of time. Unlike the Illuminate wormhole created on Meridia, this singularity appears to be a conventional black hole, with no abnormal phenomenon detected. The Ministry of Science will continue to monitor the situation closely. All synthesized dark fluid was spent in the firing, vast quantities of E711 were required to create even a small amount of dark fluid. An immense effort will be required to restore it. Nevertheless, this marks the beginning of a new era of galactic security, one in which the enemy's terrible technology can finally be wielded in the name of peace. Penta, a churning milliard of autocracy, has been wiped off the map. In its place shines an everlasting beacon, a message to all those who trespass against democracy. This is the fate of our enemies. This is completely insane, especially when it comes to the scaling side of things. And anyone who's watched my content knows how much I love the scaling side of Helldivers. Actually, I'm probably the only one doing some of this stuff right now, honestly. But now, to prove how the DSS one-shot some verses you probably would find ridiculous to imagine being vaporized by this democratic behemoth. First of all, let's say that Penta, a planet, is only the size of our moon, assuming Penta's black hole has the same radius as our moon, which is roughly a quarter of the radius of the Earth, which is the baseline measure of something being a planet. Well, this black hole size will take approximately a total energy output of almost 600 suns, even if we just keep it at this level. This is enough to vaporize My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, One Piece, and Jujutsu Kaisen, with the exception of Satoru Gojo, of course, all in one shot. If we use versus battles attack potency chart, this would scale roughly to about the mid-range of solar system level. And this is only considering Penta as a moon, a planet. A planet by statement, we're considering it to be a moon. Now let's actually use a more logical conclusion, which is that Penta is the size of a planet, with the logical reference being Earth. This would equate to over 2,157 solar masses, or a little over 293 Fo, which are on the higher solar levels of energy output. And that's it. And that's it, we have Helldivers scaling to solar system level. Just like that, we went from struggling to argue consistent planetary busting feats, planetary energy and all of that, we went from struggling to argue that with the entire force of super destroyers in DSS, to the DSS casually outputting thousands of stars worth of energy. It's genuine insanity. And this really begs the question, what is going to happen from now on? Are we going to have a Cyberstan versus DSS, Death Star style Goku versus Vegeta beam off, like the Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla beam versus beam pushing each other back? I'm genuinely really excited for anything else coming to Helldivers, and I hope you guys enjoyed, because whatever is coming after this is going to be insane. We're reaching close to multi-solar system levels of power, and this is just the test fire. Sure, the DSS got damaged, but they can use even more fuel than this. This means we can use even more power to destroy planets. It is genuinely insane. And if you're interested in the level of power being showcased in Helldivers 2, then drop a like and subscribe for coverage of any future updates of this caliber. Becoming a member also heavily supports me and would be fully appreciated. This is just insane, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.